Imagine paying $118,000 for a campervan this month. You sign the papers, you drive it home, and 6 weeks later, you find out the dealer 2 lots over was offering the identical floor plan, same base vehicle, same builder, same year, for $14,000 less, with upgraded batteries thrown in, because they could not move it. Similar situations are playing out in many markets right now as dealers work to clear aging inventory. And the buyers it is happening to are not careless people. They simply did not know the market had shifted underneath them. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly why thousands of campervans are sitting unsold right now, which brands are carrying the most inventory, what dealers are quietly doing to move these units, and the specific questions that will instantly tell you how much negotiating power you have before you spend a dollar. If you are planning to buy a campervan in the next 6 months, this is the market condition that changes everything about how you should approach that purchase. Here is why this is happening. 2 years ago, the campervan market was running hot. Dealers could not keep inventory on the lot. Buyers were paying above sticker price. Wait lists stretched 6 months or longer. Manufacturers saw the demand and did exactly what manufacturers do. They expanded. They hired more workers, ordered more parts, and built more vans than they had ever built before. They planned for a market that was going to keep growing. It did not keep growing. The buyers who were going to buy during the van life surge have already bought. The urgency is gone, and manufacturers who expanded to meet peak demand are now delivering vans into a market that no longer needs that volume. The result is inventory accumulating at dealerships faster than it is moving out. But that is only the first reason, and here's where it gets more expensive for the people who got in too early. The second reason is financing. Interest rates on vehicle loans are considerably higher than they were 2 or 3 years ago. A buyer who could comfortably afford a $90,000 campervan at 3% interest is looking at a very different monthly payment at 7 or 8%. Some buyers who were close to committing have paused. Others have moved down in budget. That has pulled a significant number of qualified buyers out of the market at the exact moment supply is at its highest point in years. The third reason is specific to how campervan buyers behave. These are not impulse purchases. Buyers spend months researching before they commit. And right now, more buyers are watching and waiting than at any point in the last 4 years. They can see the inventory building. They can see prices softening. They're holding out to see how far this goes. That patience is being rewarded, but there is a limit to how long it works in your favor, and we'll come back to exactly where that limit is. In many markets, the resale market has softened alongside the new market, although demand still varies by model, condition, and region. Buyers who purchased at peak prices 2 or 3 years ago are discovering their vans are worth considerably less than they paid. Some of those owners have decided to hold rather than sell at a loss. Others who plan to upgrade are staying put. That has reduced the number of motivated trade-ins dealers were counting on to drive new purchase conversations. Fewer trade-ins means fewer natural buyer interactions. Fewer interactions means fewer sales. The slowdown feeds itself. Here is what this looks like from the dealer's side, because understanding their position is what gives you power in this situation. When a van has been sitting on a lot for 8 months, every single day it stays there costs the dealer money. This is called floor plan financing. It's the loan dealers take out to purchase inventory from the manufacturer. They pay interest on that loan every day the van is unsold. A dealer carrying a $95,000 campervan on a floor plan loan may be paying hundreds of dollars each month in financing costs, depending on their lending terms and manufacturer support. Multiply that across dozens of unsold vans, and the carrying costs become significant. The longer inventory sits, the more pressure builds to move it. The dealer has already spent that money. They need the van gone. Here is the line worth remembering. Dealers do not lose money when you negotiate. They lose money every day you do not buy the van. That changes the entire dynamic of a negotiation. You are not asking for a favor. You are offering them relief from a problem they already have. But before we talk about which brands are carrying the most inventory and how to use that information, there is something critical to understand, because not every unsold van is an opportunity. Some vans are sitting because the market is slow. Those are the ones you want. Other vans are sitting because something is wrong with that specific unit, a repaired accident showing on the vehicle history, a trim combination nobody wants, an older model year sitting next to its updated replacement. Those vans may look like bargains, but they are sitting for a reason that will follow you after you buy them. Later in this video, I will give you the exact question that tells you within seconds which category any van falls into. Stay with me. Why dealers think differently than you do. The brands feeling the most inventory pressure right now are generally the ones that expanded production most aggressively during the peak years. In many North American markets, Sprinter-based Class B inventory has become noticeably more abundant during the shortage years, although availability still varies significantly by region and builder. A popular floor plan may still be difficult to find in one state while sitting on multiple lots in another. The Sprinter platform is the most popular base for conversion van builders, which means a large number of builders were all responding to the same demand curve simultaneously. When that demand softened, all of them had the same problem at the same time. Ford Transit-based builds are in a similar position, though Transit inventory tends to move slightly faster because the price points are generally lower and the buyer's pool is broader. Ram ProMaster-based conversions have their own inventory challenges, compounded by a more mixed reliability reputation among long-term owners that has made some buyers more cautious in this particular market. That hesitation is contributing to stock sitting longer than it otherwise would. But one segment has a very different problem, and it matters for buyers considering premium specialist builders. The smaller, higher-end conversion companies building fewer units at higher price points are not sitting on inventory. Some still have wait lists. If you are shopping in that category, the current market dynamics do not apply to you in the same way. The leverage belongs to buyers in the mid-market range, roughly $70,000 to $130,000, and that's where the opportunity is most concentrated right now. It's also worth noting that inventory levels shift quickly. What is sitting on a lot today may be gone in 60 days as dealers move units through year-end incentive programs. The window is real, but it's not permanent.
The opportunity most buyers never notice. Here's the insight that costs buyers tens of thousands of dollars when they miss it. The best time to buy is not when prices are at their absolute lowest. By the time prices hit their floor, the best inventory is already gone. The smart buyers have taken the units with the strongest specifications, the cleanest histories, and the most motivated sellers. What is left at the floor price is what nobody else wanted. The best time to buy is when inventory is high, selection is strong, and dealers are motivated, but before the seasonal uptick pulls the best units back off the lot. That window typically opens in late summer and runs into early autumn. You are in it right now. Consider the situation many buyers find themselves in. They spend months watching prices on a Sprinter-based conversion they've been researching. They keep waiting for prices to drop further. By the time they feel confident the market has bottomed, the specific floor plan they wanted, the layout that works for how they plan to travel, is gone from every dealer within driving distance. They end up buying a second-choice layout at a price only marginally lower than what they would have paid 3 months earlier, when their first choice was sitting there with a motivated seller attached. This pattern repeats in every soft market cycle. It is not bad luck. It is the predictable result of waiting for certainty in a market that never provides it. Timing is not about finding the lowest number. It's about finding the best combination of selection, price, and dealer motivation at the same moment. Right now, those three things are aligned. That alignment does not last indefinitely. How to use this market to your advantage. Now, let's get specific about what dealers are actually doing to move inventory, because knowing their tactics tells you exactly where your leverage is. The first thing dealers are doing is offering incentives through their financing arms. Some manufacturers are subsidizing rates to make monthly payments look more attractive. This can be a genuine saving, but subsidized rates often come with conditions, and the math only works in your favor if you understand the full cost structure. Never evaluate a financing offer on the monthly payment alone. The second thing dealers are doing is discounting on options and upgrades rather than on the base price. They'll hold firm on the van price and offer to include a solar package, an extended warranty, or an accessory bundle at no charge. These have real value, but the dealer wouldn't offer them if they weren't under pressure. That offer tells you something. Use the information. The third approach some dealers are using is network transfers. If a dealer in one region is heavily stocked on a particular model, they may be willing to source a unit from a sister dealership in a different market at a negotiated price, purely to relieve their own floor plan pressure. This is never advertised. You have to ask directly. Do you have access to inventory beyond what is currently on your lot? And the fourth tactic, the simplest one and the one almost no buyer ever uses, is asking one specific question before any negotiation begins. How long has this van been on your lot? Not the sticker price, not the features, that one question. If the answer is more than 90 days, you have real leverage. If the answer is more than 6 months, you have substantial leverage. The carrying cost pressure on that unit has been building every single day, and it is entirely on your side of the table. If a salesperson is evasive about the answer, that tells you something too. Who should act now and who should wait? Here is the practical framework. Start with 3 or 4 units that genuinely meet your requirements: layout, size, base vehicle, feature set. Don't narrow to one van before you have compared options. Emotional attachment to a specific unit is the single most expensive mistake buyers make in this market. It hands your negotiating power directly to the dealer. For each unit on your list, find out how long it's been on the lot. Then go into the negotiation focused entirely on the out-the-door number, not the monthly payment. Dealers prefer to negotiate payments because it obscures the total cost. Keep the conversation on the total price. Make a serious first offer, not an insult, not a gift, a number that signals you're a real buyer who has done real research. In a high-inventory environment, dealers negotiate with prepared buyers. They dismiss people who are clearly guessing. And be genuinely willing to walk away, not as a tactic, actually willing. There are multiple motivated sellers in this market right now. If one dealer won't work with you, the next one will. That hasn't been true for several years. It is true today. Before you leave any dealership, whether you buy or not, ask for the out-the-door price in writing. Not a verbal quote, not an estimate, a written breakdown of every line item, including taxes, registration, dealer fees, and any add-ons. This document becomes your comparison tool across every dealer you visit, and it prevents the common situation where a price that sounded agreed upon in conversation becomes something different when the paperwork arrives. And if you have visited multiple dealers and received written quotes, bring those into your next negotiation, not aggressively, not as a threat, simply as information, something like, "I've been looking at several options and I want to give you the opportunity to earn this sale." That framing respects the dealer's position while making clear that you are a serious buyer with alternatives. In a market with motivated sellers outnumber motivated buyers, that positioning puts you exactly where you want to be. One last thing before you go. Markets don't stay in buyers' favor forever. Eventually, inventory falls, production slows, and negotiating power shifts back to the dealer. The buyers who benefit from conditions like this aren't the ones who predict the exact bottom. They're the ones who recognize when the odds have quietly moved in their favor and act before everyone else notices. Right now, the odds are in your favor. The inventory is there. The motivated sellers are there. The selection is there. What is required is knowing how to use it. And now you do. But here's something worth keeping in mind before you get too focused on the negotiation. Every dollar you save on a van that turns out to be unreliable will be spent twice over in repairs and frustration. The deal only matters if the van itself is the right one. That's exactly why the next video matters. It covers which camper vans are still dependable after 100,000 miles, and which ones become expensive surprises long after the dealer has moved on to the next customer. Watch that before you make any final decision. The negotiation skill you just learned means nothing if you use it on the wrong van. And tell us in the comments, have you been to a dealership recently? What are you actually seeing on the lots? What are dealers telling you about prices? Every answer you leave helps the buyers watching this channel make a smarter decision.